Yo, hey, what's up? It's Jason. I'm back again with a video, and it's been a little while since I did a collection update. These are going to be all pretty much stuff I got in Toronto recently, exception of the CD, which I got in the mail, Discogs order, I think. So yeah, I've got a good variety of stuff here, even though it's not a lot of records to show you, maybe like five or six. Everything from Brazilian psychedelia to soul and funk, and yes, the return of some death metal into the collection. I thought I had bought it all already, but no, there's definitely still more stuff to get, including a mid '90s gem. First time getting it into the collection. So yeah, we'll kick things off on the vinyl tip, and then like I said, I've got a CD to show you guys at the end. I'm also sporting my latest Ministry T-shirt. I went to see them on the latest tour, which was absolutely killer. I saw them in Toronto with Decrypts and My Life with the Thrill Kill Cult. If there's a little bit of time, maybe I'll try to squeeze some of that video footage on the end, but we'll see. So kicking things off on the Soul Funk tip, saw a copy of this compilation for 40 bucks at Sonic Boom in Toronto and had to scoop it up. I like anything on the BGP label. Actually, they do a really good job on reissues and such. But this one is super fun. If you're not a part of the solution, Soul, Politics, and Spirituality in Jazz, 1967 to 1975. So a lot of soul jazz, spiritual jazz stuff on here. It's a 2 record set with lots of info on the inside. And yeah, you got Joe Henderson, you've got Celestia's Bodies, John Coltrane, Tawhid, I'm sorry, Johnny Little doing Tawhid, Eddie Jefferson doing Bitches Brew, um, John Hammond Smith, like I mentioned, Joe Henderson Quintet. Just some really great soul jazz fusion as well in there. Everything from 67 to 75. So that was a nice score. Now, the death metal record that I was talking about, um, that I had to go back for, I actually got this at Rotate This. Marked down. Now, this was a record store day thing? Yeah. Not sure which record store day year, but it's already been marked down, and I did not have a copy of Once Upon the Cross by Deicide. This is the third album by the legendary death metal band from Florida. Absolutely crushing and super riffy stuff. Great banger of a record. Originally came out on Roadrunner. This is the Real Gone reissue. And I did some colored vinyl marble thing or whatever, but whatever. It's the inner sleeve. All looking super satanic and evil on the back. It's really heavy stuff. Again, this is from '95. I wasn't aware of, I didn't listen to death metal at all in the '90s, but some really killer stuff came out in that decade. And Deicide is definitely up there. Now, on a much lighter tip, this was only $3. Found this in the singles bin. Nice funky kind of house track. Couple tracks here, West Magnetic, and I actually don't know much about this artist at all. He did produce some stuff on a Canadian label as well. This is on Ohm Records out of San Fran. Again, like I said, light-hearted, funky, soulful house. Good couple tracks from the 2000s era. I think it's actually from 2000. West Magnetic. Hit that sucker up for cheap. Also on that funky tip, got a nice, this was not cheap, even though it was used. A nice disco re-edit house kind of style Automart. And this is on Superior Elevation label, which is also a shop in Brooklyn, New York, which I have visited once. Killer shop, and this record is excellent. This has got the Tom Noble remix on there. I'm not really sure who Automart is. Maybe that is a pseudonym of Tom Noble. He runs the shop and the label. Does amazing re-edits, remixes of rare and sometimes out of print disco tracks. I'm just looking at my notes what year this thing came out. This is 2019 actually, this single. So pretty cool find, pretty cool score. Automart. The single is Discover Me, and just different versions, instrumental, remix, etc. Next up now, I teased this at the beginning. I got a Brazilian psych record, which I did not anticipate picking up at all in the last week or so. Basically, picked this up at Rotate This in Toronto on sale at the same time as the DS side. I kind of went back for the DS side, and then I saw this, and it sort of piqued my interest. I like some psych. I've always liked Donovan, for example, and this kind of looked like a Donovan-looking cover at first. But man, turns out this is an absolute legendary record. It's kind of like the Sgt. Pepper of Brazilian Tropicana or Tropicalia. Just style mixing of pop and 60s pop, I guess, and Brazilian sounds and psych. And it's actually very popular DJ wise these days. And my wife really likes this kind of style of music as well, so I figured this was kind of a 2-for-1 here. Picking this up, she would definitely dig it, and it is great. Can't say that I can pronounce any of the song titles, or the lyrics are all in Portuguese, but yeah, this originally came out in 1968, and this is a 2007 Russian reissue. So the Lilith label, I don't know how legit or illegit that label is. It may be legit. This, I don't know, it looks very like a record store day kind of thing. Even came with a CD copy of it too, so that was kind of neat. But total classic. Love to get an OG of it if it was cheap, but I doubt that would happen. But yeah, this is Sicanto, or sorry, Caetano Veloso. Caetano Veloso, legend, even served some time in jail, I guess, for his left-wing political beliefs. But yeah, legend of the Brazilian psych and Tropicalia sound. There's some cool ballads and just interesting jams on this record. Very fun, cool listen. And one other one, last vinyl I'll show that I picked up same trip. Also kind of took a risk, sort of blind buy stuff, but again, this stuff was just really cheap on sale. This was like $17. Garage rock compilation, Cave Stomp, which I guess is kind of legendary label, event, festival, if you will, of like a ton of bands. Like, look at all the bands on the back here. I recognize a few of the bands, like the Monks, obviously, and Lears, and I don't know anybody else on here. The Sonics is on here. It's also got the Greenhorns, Dead Moon, the Mosquitoes, the Brood, etc., etc. I think they're all U.S.-based garage rock bands. Some of them revivalist bands. I think originally this came out in the 90s. Recorded live in 1997. And might have come out in 2007, actually. This is a reissue on Org Music. And a very limited edition reissue for Record Store Day 2025. Already marked down. So I'm digging it. I don't know if it's colored vinyl on this thing or not, but I think it was just black. Yes, the classic black. Got some liner note stuff in here. It's pretty cool. I would say the one kind of mistake I made is I kind of grabbed it pretty fast. I didn't realize that every track on this album is live. It's all from that like live concert fest, etc. So you get a lot of crowd noises and crowd interactions and stuff, but it's all chopped up. It's not like all one concert or all one recording. I guess a sample of each band. So yeah, it's actually pretty fun. I would love to have like the original recordings of each of those songs though, so maybe a different kind of compilation. Last but not least, CD wise, I said I got some death metal in this video, and I did not lie. Picked this up, got this through Discogs. Hadn't got this latest, pretty recent Napalm Death record. This came out in 2020. There's the more recent one, I think came out in 2022 after this. Similar kind of title. Throes of Joy in the Jaws of Defeatism is the name of this album. And it's a banger, of course. It's Napalm Death. One of my favorite grindcore / death metal bands. Really cool CD, so glad to have gotten that. It's on Century Media, and the inner's already broken, I think, but yeah. So yeah, that is my quick roundup of a variety of styles, as you know, and quick roundup for the month of May, pretty much. I think that there was some other stuff in May. There was some other stuff as well, but I didn't buy as much this month. We'll see what the next month brings. See you guys soon.